the really big ones. I've got this. No, well, it's not Adam's fault.
Clive, what are you waiting on?
I was waiting for frames and panniers for the trip. And now the date from the 11th has been canned and it's not till the end of the month.
Good, I've got a spare set of soft panniers.
Stop at the supermarket and get some mint, because all my mint is fried.
John Lennon's coming with us.
John Lennon, yeah. It's a striking resemblance to John Lennon. Alright. The Great Rock Sausage Tour. So, 10 of us. All heading to Phillip Island for the Island Classics. But we're going to take in a little bit, just a little bit of Victoria while we journey there. So first leg is today, and we're heading for the township of Devonport to join the Spirit of Tasmania ferry for the trip across Bass Strait to Melbourne. And Tasmania is in the grips of some pretty serious bushfires at the moment, so there's quite a bit of smoke around. In fact, our planned route has now been cancelled because they're closing the Highland Lake roads for emergency vehicles, and the area has been evacuated because of a fairly significant bushfire. And there's another one burning south of Hobart currently in the Huon Valley. We're likely to run into a bit of smoke, and I believe there's some areas where there's ash falling, so hopefully we get to stay clear of that. But what it does mean is that we have to take the horrible option of the Midlands Highway, which is not ideal. But it is what it is. But yeah, let's go on a journey, guys. So why the sausage tour? Essentially, the way this started was I used to attend the XS 1100 national rallies, and I've been unable to do that now because of my current role, position. In the winery. And because of grape vintage. So long story short, Dji said that he wanted to come with me on the XS 1100 rally. He was going to ride his KX 1300 And I told him I couldn't go, so I said to him I might do something different, maybe I wouldn't mind going to the Island Classic. And next thing you know, we had Dji being Dji, we had 10 bikes lined up, t-shirts printed, and the great Rant sausage tour was born. And it's called the sausage tour because there's no chicks. It's just lousy with toxic masculinity. So come with us, let's go and enjoy it. Hopefully the weather's kind. It's going to be baking in Victoria on Thursday and Friday, above 40 degrees Celsius. But it is what it is, and we just need to go and have some fun. I can feel all the stress floating away now. This is why we didn't want to come up the Midlands Highway. This is the greatest flaming joke ever played on the Tasmanian people. I've spent an absolute fortune on this. It's been dragging on for decades and still won't get 4 lanes, and we've got these limb amputation systems. It's a friggin' shame, shameful disgrace. And it's a national project. It's just disgraceful. Alright, we're now leaving Campbelltown, and I dropped my bike. I was coming into the service station, and I must have hooked my jacket on this clasp, and this centre strap came undone and got jammed in the steering. I went to go around the Bowser and it just didn't turn, and of course you're leaning, and I grabbed a bit of brake, and down, because it was just totally confusing to me, and down I went. Thanks, fellas. Oh, what happened?
Right. Got it?
Yeah, it's like the steering just locked up on me. I got it, mate.
You all right?
Yeah. What the hell happened there?
Yeah, we watched you. We actually borrowing the bike as you came in, and we're like, oh, hang on, what's happened?
Just pop the side stand there if you don't mind, please, mate.
Yeah.
I wonder whether this didn't come undone.
It's got you jammed up. Yeah.
Bike's okay. I've still got a bit of drag on the throttle. I had to loosen it off and move it up the handlebar a bit because it had driven this into the end of it. Might have to bring this back down the bar a bit more. I'll play with it at the next stop. Everything else feels okay. There's a little bit of superficial damage to the right hand side, nothing on the metalwork. It's just the engine cover and the foot peg a little bit. That's it. The bike feels strong, but I have done myself a mischief. My right hamstring is not good. I'm in quite a bit of discomfort actually, but we'll see how we go. What are you going to do? We are now boarding the Spirit of Tasmania. It's been a good day. 6 of us ran up together today and met up with Paul and Steve in Devonport, and we're picking up 2 in Victoria tomorrow, so there'll be 10 of us in total. First gear off? Yep. In first gear off.
Just mucked around. Yeah, just mucked around. Yeah. Is it alright? Because we've been up at the Great Lake where the fires.
How were they?
Oh, no bloody good. We've been driven out. No fishing.
Yeah,
We were supposed to be up there. We were supposed to be Lake Arthur last night.
Oh. No, we're mainlanders who came over for the fishing and we're retreating.
Yeah, no, that's good. You're catching. They're already baked. Brilliant. It's a pretty trendy little gadget you got there, Andy, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's good.
There's only one place where you can fish.
It's going to be good in the middle of the night when the boat's doing this, rolling 30 degrees to starboard, and that thing's just dead flat. That's perfect.
That's what we want.
Great yachting. Actually, when I was sailing, that would have been a bloody handy accessory to have.
Fuck it, oath. Right here, I'm here now.
Hi, Captain. Ah, blue leader. How are you, brother? Good to see you, mate. Ricky. Hey, brother, how you doing? Right, gentlemen, I think we'll get a photo. Oh, for Facebook or something. I'm just setting it up. Relax, man. Come on, you piece of shit.
Hey, Dutchie, we're getting bored.
Shut up!
Fucking battery will be flat in a minute.
No, it's ready. All right, man. No. Just hang on, man. It's ready.
I've gone from 0 to root in West Mongoose.
Okay, we're ready.
Oh my God, are we?
Oh my God, it runs.
It runs.
It runs.
No, just hope I'm in range.
Oh no, but here we go. That'll be the next problem. Is that pointing the right way?
Shut up.
Oh, look at that. Fingers up. Oh, we wait for a flash. Hey, look at that.
Right, man. Oh, don't run over my camera, you big tramp thing. I don't even tramp.
That's pretty cool. Right. Josh has got trouble with his Triumph, won't start.
Won't fire.
What's happening, man? Is it just
Won't fire.
just battery?
Ready? Leave the clutch in for the moment. Okay. When you're ready, Josh, go.
I can't do that. Sorry, Dutch. Hey, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I had a Triumph Daytona and it did the same thing. The regulator rectifier died and just wouldn't charge the battery.
You neutral?
I'll go and shut mine off.
Righto, mate.
I did a hammy. We're away.
Hello, Andrew.
It's like 12 years old. Right, batteries in the GoPro went flat, so I don't know how far far behind the others I am, but I'll catch them. I just wanted to be able to record some of this road. Part of the Great Ocean Road in Victoria, which is fairly heavily policed now, and it's got quite restrictive speed limits, and is very popular. So it's actually quite quiet here. We were stuck with a heap of cars and buses and bicycle riders, etc. earlier. Never been on the Great Ocean Road, so this is the first for me. I mean, it's just like any Tasmanian road as far as I'm concerned. Scenery is nice. Bike's quite top heavy. I need to do some, because I've got a lot of stuff in the bag on my Ventura rack, and the weight's up quite high. I need to shift a bit of it down into the saddlebags. He's letting you go, Cobber. Go. He's letting you go. Go. Yeah, it's a shame you can't really have a crack and enjoy the road, but I guess it is what it is. You just have to enjoy it, Andy. Just enjoy it. And hopefully I'll see a few motorcycles parked up somewhere having a coffee shortly. Still all right, Josh? Dji takes some funny lines. Tends to hug the centre line a bit. Like he turns in early. I like to see around the corner. I think you got far better chance of getting the bike through the turn and getting a good exit if you come in a little bit wide and turn in late. So yeah, he had to correct himself there because that car was a little close to the centre. Another nice bit of road, and this camera's in my pocket. I don't know. It's hard, this having to think all the time about what you're filming and what your setup is. I mean, I took that camera off back in Apollo Bay because we were walking away from the bike and I didn't want someone knocking it off. And then I forgot to put it back on when we left, you know. It's been a really nice day today, so we're winding our way down the Otway light station for the night, and you know, we've been taken in the Great Ocean Road, and while a lot of it was a bit overrated in terms of the condition of the road, the speed limit, the traffic and everything else, some of it was absolutely spectacular. Definitely a nice drive. So in this group we've got Paul, Dji and Steve and myself. No one behind us. Oh, Dji had a little had a little outburst of life. He's been riding like an old nana. And then I was scooting along, and I didn't know it was him behind me. I could see it was a headlight, but I didn't know whose. And I was going at a okay, moderate kind of pace. Next thing, this Z900 RS overtakes me, and he's gone like a bloody shot out of a gun. I thought, oh my God, someone woke him up. Good to see. Good to see. The little XS is performing well. We've got quite a bit of weight on board with drone and gimbal and bottles of booze and clothes for 7 days or 9 days. and we just stopped. There's no food where we're going tonight, so I had a bit of lunch at Wee River, and or Y River, whatever it's called, and we stopped at the IGA supermarket in Apollo Bay and loaded up with a few bits and pieces, and I've stacked a couple of bottles of cola on the top of my bag, and the extra weight up high is really giving me a little bit of a pain in the arse in terms of the handling of the bike. I can really notice it, but the little XS11, she's going well. These bikes really were built to be a Swiss Army knife, you know. They just do it all. Except motocross, probably not very good at motocross. Or trials. Or speedway. In fact, there's probably lots of things it's not very good at. But eating up the miles as a touring bike, geez, you could do worse, you know. Main fuse blew, I don't know why. Everything was fine, and I just split the throttle and it dropped out, and the fuse is actually broken in half, and I think that's what it's been. It's been a vibration thing. Stuck on the side of the highway in Melbourne, or outside of Melbourne, and we're now at the point where we need a recovery. Right, we're in Balan, and we're doomed. So the bike's got more problems than I know how to deal with here.